Cottman, Crawford, and the Jersey Guy Podcast.
Hey everybody, Kenny Cottman.
Lewis Crawford.
And I'm Tom Ramage, the Jersey Guy.
Hello, my peoples. How is everybody doing today?
All right, how are you today?
Good.
I'm doing good.
Good. So we have Tom on the phone today because Tom got a beating. His wife didn't like what he was saying. They washed the dishes and shit, so she whipped his ass.
She hooked him up good.
She broke my back.
Yeah, Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Told you.
Better stories to tell if she broke your back.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, way
Wow.
different story. Yes. And you heard now our special guest is Miss Tanya sitting here with us. Yep. She's going to jump in. And that's it. You know what? It's going to be make fun of Tom Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, yeah. So you said Tom hurt himself. So hope he's feeling better. Well, you will feel better.
See you soon.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'm actually like pacing back and forth because my back hurts when I'm laying down or sitting down, but when I'm standing, I'm good. So
Yeah.
I look like a maniac. I'm in my room pacing back
There
and
you
forth.
go. The normal shtick.
Yeah. That's funny.
Make sure you have your step counter on.
Yes.
Yeah. I do.
I didn't even think about that. That's it.
On my watch.
Yeah, get your steps in. Don't just shake the watch to count the steps. You got to actually walk.
Exactly.
Yep. So, Lewis, Miss Tanya. So,
Yes.
sorry for the loss.
Thank
So,
you. Appreciate it.
Lewis, go ahead and
Yeah,
Sorry.
we are
Go
in the middle of, my dad passed away last week on the 18th
Yep.
at 2:00 in the morning.
Yes.
He was ready to go. He was tired. So he decided it was time. So, but now we're going to talk about how I was telling my wife, it's funny how we go through the motions, right? So someone passes away, you have to go up and check on them. You can go up and see them. And then after that, you have to get in touch with the funeral home and you got to make all these arrangements and you go do that and you get everything set up. And you kind of think, oh, wow, this is what's involved. So you do that and you get that all set up and then you do the ceremony. We had a ceremony for him, which my wife rocked that, by the way.
Yeah.
I was just a help. She did everything. So it was really nice. It was great. And then the real work starts, that we found out, is when you have to go to the house because there's really no goodbye, right? There's no goodbye because now you're going back to the house and now you have to go through everything.
Yeah.
From their clothes to their pots and pans to their bathroom paraphernalia, whatever it is, everything.
Yeah.
And then you just wind up finding things, and something that always seems to, every day is a different day, and that one day will be a set of different memories or moods that's going on through your head, and you can't believe you're doing it because you're actually, he was just here, now I'm going through his stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a surreal moment,
It's a roller coaster for sure.
Yeah.
It's emotionally challenging, physically challenging,
Yeah.
and a lot of emotions. You have some good times when you're sitting there going through pictures and stuff that you came across. And then there's some upsetting times when you're like, wow, he's just not here anymore.
Right. Yeah.
It dawns on you when you're standing in the middle, and as the rooms start to empty,
Yeah.
it starts to hit you a little bit more and more because it's getting close to the end where he's not going to be there anymore. You're not going to go there and pick him up or take him to his doctor's appointment. So that stuff is starting to settle in too. So we figured we just talk about this conversation, how that is not an easy thing to get through in so many different aspects. Okay, that person's gone now, so now technically they're fine, right? They're not around anymore. There's nothing for them to worry about, right? Now it's all up to us to take care of everything and make sure everything is turned off and the furniture is moved and what do we put in storage and what do we keep and what's a memento or things that you want to keep for yourself, from that person, So it's like Tanya said, it's definitely an emotional roller coaster ride for sure. It's,
You almost feel guilty going through everything and they're like, is it okay to get rid of
Right.
this or should we be keeping this?
Right.
Yeah, it's just like you said, an emotional roller coaster, but I feel like it's that roller coaster that no one ever talks about.
Yeah,
it's true.
Talk about, how you want to be laid to rest, or if you want a celebration of life like we did for Bob, or traditional, different religions do different things. All that stuff, some people talk about, right? Talk about how they want to be laid to rest and stuff. So yeah, that's the easy part. The hard part is the after. And I don't feel like many people talk about how difficult it is afterwards. We also, other than having to go through all of that stuff, happen to be against a time clock because we're trying to clear out a place by the end of the month. Not everybody has that same scenario. If somebody owns a home,
it's different.
They have a little bit more time. So, but we just had a lot on our shoulders this week, trying to get it all done and deal with the emotions that go along with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And Tanya would always say, it feels like Groundhog Day. We just did this. We just did this.
Absolutely. We woke up every morning and I was like, what day is it? The alarm would go off and it was like, get up, have coffee, get there. And it was absolutely a scene from Groundhog's Day.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. And then, of course, you go through those, as you're going through all that stuff, you remember things from growing up. I found his watch that he always wore. So, of course, I kept that. I'm like, I'm not going to get rid of that. I got to hold on to that. And then you just kind of go through different things. Or maybe I should have did this, or I could have did that differently, but I guess that's normal to do that.
Right.
Because even if you did all those other things, what about the other things that you didn't do if you did those things? So it's kind of like you beat yourself up a little bit, but then you have to tell yourself, hey, this is part of the process. This is what you got to go through.
Definitely. Yeah, and you always have to try to think, it's hard sometimes depending on the person, but always have those positive memories, or the funnies. Yeah, you have a couple of the negatives, but just try to dwell on the good ones, because that's where your, I guess your life lessons were. You know what I mean? It was that one thing that was said, that, one meal that was cooked, or that, like you said, you just remembered the watch, that was the watch you always wore. So, you gotta think about that, and, I know it's hard. That sucks doggy nuts.
It does.
It's hard. Yeah, definitely.
I agree with you with what you're saying about, remember the good things. Ironically, anytime when you have a friend or a family member or somebody that passes and you're sending condolences to the friend, most of the time we're doing it on social media.
Right.
If you're not, appearing in person on social media. And one of the things that I always write, it's like my go-to, but it is heartfelt, is like, remember the good memories, the beautiful memories, because those are what get you through the grieving part.
Yeah.
Not the little things that come up, because we all have shit. So to speak.
Right.
Yeah,
those
for sure.
aren't what help. Those are actually what make you have some guilt and stuff. But if you remember all the good stuff, it just helps you get through it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's my opinion.
Because always remember too that, even all of us, when we are at that one place, I guess we'll say, that you just kind of like real quiet, we always, so say for you guys, or, husband and wife team or whomever, you always remember something like you watching TV. Like, oh, fucking Louis, remember when you said that? Tanya, he did the same thing you did. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just watching TV, hearing a song or whatever.
Right, it could be anything that could pop up.
And it makes you feel good. It's like, oh, that was a good one. And it's that, put a smile on your face.
Yeah.
And that's what you always have to stick to, And then, that's for me, but this part is for me, that it's always like, yeah, I was a little bit bigger back then. I'd have punched that motherfucker in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have just poked him in his eye. I would have, would scared the shit out of him, for doing these things to me or whatever, but I make it a funny. You know what I'm saying? Always stay on that positive and, just think about what that person in your everyday life has done for you, from when you were little till now, however long you've known them.
Yeah.
And, you enjoy them. You enjoy those, bro. It's just, I said, you go through the motion, like you said, you always go through the motions. And, I think that's part of the grieving period,
It is.
Absolutely. And it's a lot of work. People don't really, people will come to the funerals or the celebrations or whatever it might be, and then they go home.
Yeah.
But then the family has to go. And now they're starting a whole new thing. Yeah, they just say goodbye there because they left him.
Right.
Now he's going to be laid to rest. But he hasn't left because now you're in all his stuff. and there's always something, whether it's the smell of the apartment or the way, like my father was. That must be where I got my packing skills from, because he found places to put shit away that you would have never known it was there until you started digging through his stuff. Yeah. Seriously. I found 2 sheets of plywood, right? I mean, he had so much different things in the house. Like, he had 3 walkers that I didn't even know about were hidden behind his clothes. Like, he had them perfectly folded and everything. Like, he knew exactly to put something somewhere it was out of the way, because you never knew it was there, because his house was always neat and immaculate. He always had everything in its place, pictures up, everything, you know. But he definitely knew how to fucking hide shit, for sure, man.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is great to say. But see, it's the smile on your face right now. You
it's
know
funny.
What I'm saying? Is that you laugh and you're like,
because she laughs, because she's like, yeah. It reminds me of somebody.
Because see, the funny is that we call it OCD for you.
Right.
You know?
Meanwhile, it was trauma from my father.
This guy. Yeah.
Right.
And that's
Learned behavior.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That is funny. So you see, Tom, I don't even know, Tom, if that would be considered OCD.
OCD is compulsive cleanliness. That is an OCD, but it's got to be like super like compulsive, like to a point where like funny. I don't want to go off topic. You know, I always go off topic.
Yeah.
I was at my friend's party, and it was at their uncle's house, and like he had to put all the folding chairs, and he saved the original boxes, and he had to clean them, and individually he polished each one down before it went to put back in the box in a certain place in his basement. It was like, oh my God, this guy is like on another realm with this. So I thought it might be like the same thing, right? Like it was OCD, like cleanliness, like
everything in his place.
I had to say for him, it was more organizational. The cleanliness part, he was kind of on the. Excuse me. He was right in the middle. With the cleanliness thing, he wasn't filthy dirty.
Yeah,
but there were certain things that he wasn't great at. Like, you know, when we checked his pots and pans and stuff, everything was kind of greasy and stuff like that. You know, but hey, that's what it is. You know, he always loved margarine and, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? That was the stuff. That, you know, when he made food, he made it with a lot of oil and grease and stuff, whatever. You know, that's how he liked to eat, you know, his home fries and all that shit, you know what I mean? So you knew he was cooking in the kitchen. Yeah. You know, there was no doubt about it, you know. Cleaning, he would drive my wife crazy if he tried cooking in our house, that's for sure. She would have lost her mind. No doubt about
hilarious.
He clearly didn't use Dawn to wash the dishes.
It was baking soda and like vinegar.
It was there, but it was just like a stage prop, you know. It wasn't being used or anything. You know.
You look on the back, it says like 1983 on there.
Right, exactly. This is already expired.
Used by, exactly. That's the funniest shit ever, man. Oh my God. That is great. And it was a nice is that celebration of life?
Celebration of life.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because it was a good day, and you know, we're making fun because it was super windy.
Oh gosh, it was
until you guys went and did all your speeches or whatever, and it was like he was happy, and then the wind stopped.
You know,
it was weird.
You're right.
They played that Hallelujah song. We're not religious.
Which Hallelujah song?
They played Hallelujah.
Oh, from the Celtic women.
Or Pentatonics, it might have been. I don't know. The song Hallelujah, we chose, I don't remember. It was either Pentatonics or Celtic women.
Oh, wait a minute. It might have been that little opera singing girl, right?
That song came on, and I looked at my sister-in-law, Pam, and all of a sudden the wind stopped, the sun came out, and we were like, wow. And she said to me, do you hear the song that's on? And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
A little creepy.
See?
A little creepy.
Right, you see?
Makes you think, though, right?
Right.
It was,
so
this is beautiful, though.
Yeah, it was really groovy. It was pretty groovy. I was digging it. I was like, oh, this is cool. Okay.
It was nice, and it was just the right amount of people and the right people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Which was good too. You guys came, my friends came, I had my family there. My brother came in. A bunch of Tanya's friends came in. You know.
Your sister came too, right?
Your sister came a little later on. Yeah, she. Her mom was there. Haley, Justin, everybody. It was the grandkids. It was It was good. Yeah, it was good.
It was what I envisioned. I had never been to one before.
Okay.
I don't know. I've heard of the term. I don't know that they ever did them back in the day.
No, probably not.
We just did typical.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Wake and the whole thing.
Maybe back to family or to a restaurant afterwards.
Right, yeah.
But the celebration of life thing, it's kind of what I envisioned.
Yeah.
I didn't really look it up.
Yeah.
It's kind of what you and I have been talking about for ourselves.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought that was.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought that was. That's the way to do it, in my opinion.
So much better than.
I saw them standing in a funeral home with the the open casket. It's just weird,
Yes.
Right?
And they got to stand there, and everybody comes to you in a line to say, it's like weird. You go through this whole rigmarole,
No, I
Rigmarole. I love that word.
completely agree, because nobody's ever comfortable in a funeral home.
Yeah,
with an open casket. It's just an uncomfortable feeling. For many people.
for us, it would have been the opposite if he did go that way. And we did ship him down to, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, ship him down to Maryland.
Yes.
And did it that way. It would have been a closed casket anyway, because you just don't open the casket.
Right.
I mean, I guess you could if you did a private viewing just for the family.
Yeah.
I guess I heard, but usually that's not, and it's usually the same day. Boom, it's done. Usually it's close to when death happened. So, but yeah, I'm all with you on that too. With it, but even when you have to go to a church or a cemetery or it's
just a very somber.
Right.
Yeah.
Very somber feeling.
Goodbye. You know what I mean? That's when you guys officially say goodbye.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like everybody, all the friends and the other family and stuff, friends, they come and then that's the wake or the life ceremony of life. That's done. That's where we all say goodbye.
Right.
Now, you're going through everything. That's going through the motions. That's saying the, slower goodbyes.
Right.
All right. I remember this. Okay, whatever. And then, after all is when that final goodbye is, and,
Yeah.
So that's when you're going to be like.
We got a lot of good feedback on, not that we were looking for feedback. We did what we wanted. Like I said, we totally winged it, but it was what we envisioned, I guess.
Yeah.
But everybody came back and said kind of the same thing. Like that was really good. And when we were up speaking, the family all had something to say. At the podium there to the group of people that did come. There was a lot of smiling faces out there, and that was what was special to us. I just made it easier.
Yeah, definitely. But you see, this is your fault, though, in a sense, because now you've done started this super trend because you're like the party person. Like
right now,
you're the planner. You're the organizer. No matter how you want to
party.
Yeah.
So now all the funerals you go to are going to be it's going to all be like this now.
I changed all my fucking funeral shit. Party over here.
Well, we got to scratch that out. Do this over.
Yeah.
Lewis and I.
Now it's going to go overboard. People are going to have an open bar.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's going to be the thing. I'm telling you.
I kid around with my
DJ.
Yeah.
I kid around with my son. I said, I'm going to do a video thing for, and then I'm going to go, I'm going to do the thing from what movie is it? We're just like, fuck you, you're cool.
Half-baked.
I'm out.
Half-baked.
Half-baked.
Yeah, right. Do that whole thing, that shtick that he does in Burger King. Like, he just, just make sure you do it to the right people when you got the video on. But my son laughs. He's like, that's so funny. That would be so perfect if you did something like that.
But in all seriousness, Lewis and I said to each other, we wanted to let our children know that this is what we want.
Right.
This was like the test run.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
We liked how it went. It was what we envisioned. We got everybody said it was a good day and like a really beautiful thing. So we want the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. The same exact thing.
Yeah. I would say
in that
too.
sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I want to party.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want people to at least be able to hang out, talk, laugh, cry, whatever it is. There's music on, and you know, people are just being comfortable without having to be uncomfortable, because those other areas are uncomfortable. You always gotta, you know what I mean? So I think that helps too with it to make it easier. Because honestly, you got to celebrate, like Tanya was saying, the things that they did. You know, he worked hard all his life from when he was very young. He made sure to take care of his family, regardless of whatever else was going on in his life. He did the best that he can do, and that was enough, really. And, and regardless of what him and I had through the years, doesn't matter.
Right.
When it comes down to it, it really just comes down to the fact that I knew that he loved me
Mm-hmm.
and my brother, and he wanted to make sure that he took care of us, and he did a great job. And I told him that on the phone the night before. I said, "Listen, I got it. I took care of everything. Whatever you didn't want in the house is out of the house.
Yep.
I cleaned up. I did everything for you. Don't worry about it. You need to do what you need to do. That's all that matters now."
Mm-hmm.
You know. And then he was sounding like he was because he was worrying. He was in the hospital worrying.
Right.
And they say that's what they do. They think about the stuff that they need to finish and get done before they go.
Yeah.
And that's what he needed to do. And then he decided, okay,
Yeah.
he was ready. So
he's got it. We got it. They got it.
yeah,
So it's gonna be
for
all
sure.
good. Yeah.
I have to say, at the celebration of life, we knew we were all going to get up as family and say, we all had different things that we wanted to say or whatever. But then when we open, I guess the vulnerable part is when you open it up and you say, if anybody wants to say anything.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect, maybe a family member or something like that come up, but it was really great when
His friend, his
one
neighbor.
of his friends got up and
It was really
the
nice of
building
her.
that he lived in and
Yep.
said some words about him and how he was amongst his friends and everything there. So that was nice at the celebration of life. But I have to tell you, all week long in cleaning out the apartment, every person that we passed in the building had something to say about Bob.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was, as much as we know how much of a pain in the ass he was, everybody had nothing but good things to say. And, that he was a great guy. He was fat. Today we heard he was fascinating.
Right, fascinating.
All kinds of things. And I kind of stopped and said to Lewis, like, are people saying that just because they're like feeling sorry for you? So they're just going to tell you all good things about you?
Right.
Or,
But the mailman didn't hold back though. He was like,
true.
he said,
It's true.
he said he was a pain in the ass, but he was a nice guy. He said, and I saw, as soon as the mailman said it, I just started laughing.
He was genuine.
Yeah, see.
I was like, you hit it right on the nose, man.
I love when people are genuine like that. They're just like, say it like it is. Like,
and
they,
you
how that
should be.
feels.
Yeah.
And you should be, because we were like, wait a minute, are we talking about the same Bob?
Right, yeah. Fascinating.
But that's the thing though. When you hear the good things, even though you know they were a pain in the ass, is because they were truly
Yes.
a good person.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
They were.
Like, when you hear, no, fuck that motherfucker, I'm glad he's gone. Like, then you're like, oh shit, he must have really been fucked,
I can tell a funny story. One of the women the one that actually got up and spoke at the celebration of life, she came by the apartment. She wanted to go through some books and stuff that he had. They shared a similar interest in a specific author. So she wanted to go through the books, and, we're absolutely all for it. Well, when she came over, she said something to me about the Bob's Crystal Club. And I said, Crystal Club? And I'm trying to think of what the heck she's even talking about. Like, I'm thinking like those
little crystals.
stones and crystals that people, like healing stones.
Yeah.
I didn't know what she was talking about. And I'm like, that's not him at all. Like, what is she talking about? So she said to me, I was so excited when I was able to join Bob's Crystal Club. And I had to ask her, I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Well, she said to me that he started buying all of the women a piece of crystal, like Waterford crystal.
No,
like
shit. Real
crystal things, and gifting it to them. And if you were
just the money
woman,
bags.
If you were a woman and you got a piece of crystal from Bob, you were now part of Bob's Crystal Club.
He started a fucking
he was rapping with the ladies, yo.
He's a pimp. Your dad's a pimp, man. Wow.
Look at you.
She actually told me she was so excited, like Christmas or something. He gave her some, like a little angel or something, and it was Waterford crystal. And I kind of I laughed about the story first, but then I said, you know what? For years, Bob bought me crystal, tons of crystal, different pieces, beautiful Waterford crystal pieces. So maybe I'm the one that started that crystal club.
No, actually, he started with you, and then he just went on to everybody else.
Yeah.
No, because I told him to stop buying me so much because
we had no more room to put it.
So he decided.
It's crazy, man.
He decided to start buying it.
That was a fucking pimpy.
That's so great. I love it. I love it.
See, that's an amazing story.
Yes.
That is
Very funny.
I believe it. He was always.
He was a giver. He was a giver. He loved to give.
Even when I called the people, and I was actually that week when I took him to his appointments, one of them was a shoe appointment. He had to get new shoes because his feet were swelling up, whatever. And the women that were in the place, it's right on 211. It's the Meta Fair right on 211, right over there. So they knew who he was right away. Yeah. She got up behind the counter, gave him a hug, the whole thing, And then we talked about the shoes he wanted and everything. I wound up calling them because I was there that week and I wanted to let them know that he had passed, I said, listen, you might want to put a hold on the scooter and on the shoes. I don't think we're going to be needing them anymore. Yeah, dude. She was, thank you. She was just had nothing but nice things to say about him. Your dad was a pleasure to see. I'm so glad I got to see him before he went. So it was, and I apologized to her. I had to give her bad news, but I figured those were the kind of people who would want to know. So,
but the ones that you see that he, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like I said earlier, it's the funnies, it's the things that made you smile that make it, they like that you're thankful.
Just helps carry you through it.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Even though I know my father drove me absolutely bananas.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And I get it, that's just who he was. That's what he did, he was definitely unique for sure. There's no doubt about that. The one thing I have to say is that, I learned a lot of things from him. I mean, he was good person for me. And I mean, whatever our relation was on and off, however it went through the years, it is what it is. But now that's done. And I just feel like, I learned so much from him in so many different things, because of him, I use my hands. I learned how to wash down a building, take the garbage, I do superintendent stuff and then go from there and then just continue on through my life working with my hands. You know what I mean? Because he was always that guy. He did it, and then I wound up getting it. So the coins, the collectibles, the things that he liked, I picked up a lot of that stuff. So you don't realize you wind up, regardless of what your relationship might be with your parents, you're going to wind up recognizing some things that you were doing from your parents. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether you like to, God damn it, no, no.
Yeah.
But all kidding aside, and not being serious or anything like that, he always meant to do the right thing. We said it at the, he just liked making people happy, I guess, in his way. He always sent them a card. He made a phone call, gave them coins. It was just a big thing. When we were younger, when he came home from work and it was on a weekend, he would bring us these big cookies. Would have, they either had the big chocolate chips on them, or you would have like the crazy faces, but he would get them from this bakery wherever he was, that he was working that night when he worked for the MTA.
Right.
So he was always doing that, thinking of everybody else, But he did make sure, though, when he needed something, he made sure that he called you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and even those things you're going to wind up remembering, laughing too. Like,
because you're going to end up doing something. And you're like,
I already tell my son, I promise I'm going to do my very best not to drive you bananas. You know what I mean? So I'm
sure we drive them.
I'm sure. Already. Yeah, maybe. But we really, I guess we probably do it our own way. So, but that's the good thing, I guess. Maybe that's what they need to laugh about.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. And, there's only a handful of people that I call friends in my life, and even less that I call my brother. And you're my brother. And
appreciate
obviously it's your dad had that influence on you that made you the person that you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the one thing you got to hold on to for sure. At least you held on to the good shit.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? Because, because you were a little douche, we wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing, Listen, And, you're good people, you're very good people, and when you, like I said, just the stories that you and the family were saying, that all you guys were saying, he was more good than a pain in the ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And he was, right. And he was getting older, so you knew that was.
Well, when you get old, I think that's just one thing. That's your excuses.
To be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, we make fun of kids being entitled, but the old people are entitled to, say, you know what? Fuck you. Get off my grass. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And just know, bro, you've kept all the great qualities, from your dad, from your parents as a whole, and Yeah, nothing but good things, man.
I appreciate it.
Nothing but good things.
It's a lot.
You know.
Really.
Yeah, just always remember that. You know, it's always the groovy shit. Because,
absolutely,
you know, you're gonna one day we're gonna be sitting in the car or something, and you're gonna say something like, "I sound like my fucking father."
Right.
It's just gonna be,
damn it.
Yeah, fuck, I didn't want to see
that. Always happens, though, right? That always happens, right? You know,
yeah,
it's crazy. I got a good story since we're talking about him. I'll talk to you about something that I thought I had big balls at the time when I was young. We had this club that he put up for us in the basement. You know, we had our own room and everything, and we were moving a couch. The couch was like. It was made from the 1920s. It had real cotton and metal and wood. And this couch, you needed like 6 people to move the couch. It was super heavy. So we get it down in the basement. I don't know. Something happened. Him and I got into an argument. Long story short, I wound up saying, "Fuck you," to my father. And I had to be like 15, maybe.
Oh
my friends are just standing there. Like, they're all standing there. And they had this, if you can picture it in your face, they're all standing there with this look of like, did he just say what I said? Like, they just say it out loud. You could see it in their eyes. They were already thinking. And my father was like, "Fuck me? Fuck me?" And he picked the couch up with one hand.
Bro.
And he threw it. Like, he went under it from the side.
Like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, just threw it across the room. And I was like, "Run!" And I fucking ran my ass out of that freaking club. I was down the block already because he couldn't run. Thank God he had bad feet, you know. So there was no way he was catching me. I'm like, if I get by him, I'm clear. I'm out. Right? So I get out. I get through the back gate, go down to the corner. He comes running. He goes right out. My father smoked and everything, right? And he's looking at me. He's like, "You gotta sleep sometime." I'm like, yeah. So, and my father at that time was in his 40s,
right?
So, and he was, you know, obviously healthy. You know, he was a big man. You did not want him getting his meat hooks on you, bro. I've seen him. I've seen the damage that he's done to people who fucked with him, and it was not pretty.
Hello, you just said what the fuck he did to the couch, man.
No, the couch was just, the thing about the couch is that it took 6 of us to move it. It took my father one arm, one hand. The couch gone.
Yeah.
Like, you're like watching it. My friends just see all that. It's like you just see a scene from a movie. They're all standing in a row, just watching the couch. You know, like, and then, where's Lou? Oh, he's gone. He was gone a long time ago. Are you kidding me? He was out.
Witness protection. He's out of here.
No joke, man. Yeah.
He changed his name. And
that didn't happen again.
That is
that didn't happen again.
That is too fucking funny. See, that's what I'm saying. There's funny stories like that, you know, because that's a good one. That's a doozy.
Yeah, there's a couple of them, man. You know, we'll dedicate this podcast to my father, since you know,
definitely.
There was a few of them, and to all the people who were in our lives that made a difference, good, bad, or indifferent, don't matter, right?
Yep.
And that put a smile on your face, and you're able to tell a funny story, which I think is a good thing, right?
Yeah,
that's, you know,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you can do that, you know, that's good too. You know, I've seen him manhandle a guy in the hallway in the building. Remember, you lived in Brooklyn, so you remember you walk in the apartment building. It was a small foyer with the bells.
Yes,
and then you had to go through another door. They had to ring you in to get in,
right? Next one, right,
and then you had sometimes the buildings had 2 sides, right? You had one side, and then you had another side. Right. You had to walk up through the hall,
like A side, B side, F, D's, whatever.
But usually there was metal like gates behind or in front of the window of the hallway doors. So this guy got crazy with my father. I forgot what happened, and they got into an argument or something. And my father picked him up off the floor and used him like a tin can off the metal poles of the door. With his face. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's scary. You're like, well, don't do that again. Don't say F you again, man. You could have got that.
Yeah, right.
You could have got that.
Come here.
I got off easy on that one.
Bro, that is fantastic. Yeah, I love those shits. Yeah. That is freaking hilarious, bro. Yeah. That's where it's at, man. That's what makes it, you know, that's it. That's the fun when you hear the good stories. I love those. I love telling those stories. It's great. I like hearing them. I like hearing them when the people tell me about them.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Good stuff. And vice versa. I like when people share that stuff too, about their families or what their fathers did and stuff. You know, you just laugh your ass off. You're like, what? I can relate. I know for sure.
That is too much. Did he ever talk about being in the service? Like, did he tell any?
Oh, he loved it. The one thing he did love is he loved the military. If I would ask him now if he was alive, and I think he's told me this before, he probably would have stayed in the Navy if he knew then what he knew now.
Oh, yeah.
He would have just stayed in.
Mm-hmm.
But he wound up getting a job with the city and everything, but he loved the military, and he always read books about the military. He was all about, my father has a little touch of the South in him. You'll see the Southern flag. You'll see that, he'll have it on little belt buckles and stuff like that. But he's all about the Constitution.
Right.
He's not about, he says, even though he may like that,
yeah,
he knows that, well, they lost.
Yeah.
North won. Yeah. That's what we do. This is who we are, you know. So he may kid around with that stuff, but in reality, he always took us. We went traveling everywhere, him, my family. Gettysburg, all of Pennsylvania, learned Civil War, all that. Anywhere we could go. Mm-hmm. It was all a history thing with him. He loved it. And he read so much. How many books did we? Oh my God. There was so many books. I've never read in my life the amount of books my father's read.
Yeah, we cleared like
and he loves all those
cases of books and CDs and
CDs.
Yeah.
Did he any of his DVD stuff work? Still his DVD players, I mean?
Yeah. I have one that you can record your VHS tapes to the CD. Yeah. I have that machine.
Save it.
Yeah, I'm not getting rid of that.
Save it.
No, that's.
Well, I'm just because
that's like an Atari.
Oh yeah, bro! I'm telling you, man, that's right there. That's what I'm saying. Half the stuff that he's got in there.
Well, no, he's got some good stuff. I mean, even the stuff he has in books, as far as he has a World War II encyclopedia. There's got to be like 12 books.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous. He's got a bunch of different tape sets, of military stuff. But I'm seeing like
or like audio.
CDs.
Really?
Yeah. He's got all that, man. That is really good stuff. He loved all that stuff, man. And his music was ridiculous. He was a big country fan, so we had to make sure we put country music on. Of course, you heard we did that for
at the service.
The Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh yes,
he's
coming up and coming. We gonna do what they say can't be done.
We got a long way to go. And a short time to get there.
That's great, man. That's great. Who's that? Lou's phone.
Is it my phone?
I think it was your phone. Yeah, Lou's phone vibrating.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, guys. We have Tom on the line, so.
Yeah, but that's cool, man. Right.
We're still working the kinks out. No,
it's Tom vibrating. He's excited. And shit. Yeah, but that's cool, man. Like I said, it's just, that when he tells a story, you know what I'm saying? That he's laughing his ass off as he's telling you the story. That's how you hear it. That's how you see it. And that's how you tell it,
Well, the one thing about him, too, and the ladies were saying this, too, about him. Bob knew things that we never even heard of. Like, if he was playing Scrabble with them, and he'd be like, look it up. It's there. And he knew it was there. He knew. He knew a lot of stuff about things that most people wouldn't even think about, And then, and he used that. To his advantage, because he did read a lot. One thing I have to say,
I was going to say that's where it comes from when you read that much.
He did read a lot, and he loved history, and he loved all those different things about the crazy things about history. When it came to Abraham Lincoln or whatever.
Yeah.
All the John F. Kennedy and Abraham Lincoln and the coincidences between the two and all that. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
So he was all into that. Loved the UFO shit. Yeah. I don't think he was big on the ghost stuff. But he did big Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
Huge Star Trek fan. From the beginning, when they first came out. And I have a CD, what do you call it? The entire series for all the years.
The TV shows?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. So he got that.
See, that's what you got to.
He loves sci-fi.
Right here you got to put that in here on the on a shelf. Put them all up.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be great.
Oh yeah, there's so many he had there. Right. He had that. He loves sci-fi. He loved that stuff too. That's not me.
That's mine this time? That might be mine. Sorry, guys.
Oh, sorry, guys. Hey, Kenny's phone's ringing, people. This is not good. We're not going to be able to edit this out. Sorry.
The part is that my phone isn't even near here. It was way over there.
Yeah, but you got it super loud, man.
No, that was vibrating.
What do you got? I got it. I know it's vibrating. What do you keep that on your in your first front pocket when you're on the bike?
No, just because I'm happy to see you.
Go ahead, call me.
Oh,
That's funny as hell. Yeah.
So yeah, he loved all that stuff too.
That's good shit.
Yeah. So he sports, not a sports person at all. My father did not like it at all. He might go for he might do Army Navy, but he never understood football. Even if you tried to explain to him, he couldn't get it. Yeah. He only picked the one because, he was in the Guard, but he was Navy first. So he always picked the Navy.
Got it.
So that was his thing, the Navy first, so, but that was the only thing he knew. If anything, baseball, nothing. He would always go against the team that so because if I was Yankees, you go, oh, Boston, I want them to win. Like you'd do that on purpose. Yeah. So like, oh, you don't even know what the fuck it is. Why are you even saying that?
That's why he said it, right. To get you riled up.
What the hell? You don't even like baseball. Yeah, well, so
that is hilarious.
Yeah, he would. But overall, he did have a wealth of information in his mind. He was reading, and he just. Like to joke around a lot, especially lately in at the end, he was always like flirting with the freaking nurses and stuff like that,
Yeah.
Constantly. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? I don't say anything to him. I'm thinking like, oh, whatever. They're not saying anything. So and it wasn't anything bad. Don't get me wrong. Like he wasn't in any way being inappropriate or anything like that. He was just
a charmer.
Right. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So
now you know. Crystal, apparently.
Yeah.
And Crystal.
If you're in the Crystal Club, ladies. If you're out there, give us a call. We want to know how many are in it.
Yes. Well, see, now my thinking, though, is now when Lou gets older, and he starts handing out crystals.
No, it's going to be sex toys, boy. I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to bother.
You see, but now you're going above and beyond, bro, because you got to buy batteries. You don't want to buy batteries.
I'll get self-chargeable, bro. Make it easy for everybody. Bluetooth.
Solar. Get a solar.
Just sit it in the window.
With your legs open, just sit in the fucking window.
It'll even use moonlight.
Yes. Oh, yes. Woo. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Oh,
so before we go, just wanted that we weren't sure what we were going to say, but this is dedicated to you. This podcast is dedicated to you. So thank you. And I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. And
yeah, this was a good one.
Didn't mind us, just talking about.
Well, I appreciate you guys sharing, and I hope that,
it might be important.
That we were able to at least make you smile and think a little bit,
Thank you, honey, for doing this with me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Tom, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Just checking. Want to make sure you're still there, man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It was awesome. So that's the show.
All right, brother.
In memory of Lou's dad.
Yeah. Bob Crawford.
There you go.
Yeah.
And thank you guys both for showing up and supporting us.
Absolutely. Thank you both. It means a lot.
Of course. That's what we're here for.
Yep.
All righty.
That's it. All right, then. So everybody be good. Love, peace, and hair grease.
Live long and prosper.
And go vegan.
Holla.
Yep.